For 27 years, Jerry Springer presided over his talk show like a ringmaster. There were fights, brawls, and most times it was utter chaos. Now Jerry is putting his law degree to work and settling cases in court. We caught up with him earlier, and today's Chatting with the Stars. Friend of the show, Jerry Springer. Welcome to DBL.
Hi.
So the Jerry Springer Show, let's get right to it, was known, of course, for those crazy brawls and fights. But it didn't start out like that, is that right?
It started out as a normal talk show, kind of boring, but normal, because I was picked to replace Phil Donahue. His show was owned by the company that owned the station where I was doing the news. And Bert Dubrow, who you may know, he runs your operation there.
There he is.
Bert went to there he is, and he was wearing a mask back then. But
that explains a lot.
That's only when he went into the bank. Yeah. But he went to the CEO and said, Phil's retiring. How about, Jerry as a new host of a talk show, which they would produce. All of a sudden, I was assigned to do this talk show. It started out normal.
So Mr. Jerry Springer, right over there.
And then one day, about 2 or 3 years in, there was a fight on the show. And we didn't even have any security. No one ever thought there'd be a fight on a talk show. Literally, a riot broke out it lasted about 10, 15 minutes before order was restored. And Bert was seen on camera saying, "We're going national, we're going national."
Oh my God. Of course.
And
Of course.
And I'm thinking, this is the end of my career. But I thought it was all over, and obviously it wasn't.
I love those stories, and especially Bert. That's right.
I know.
That's right. That's so Bert. That's so Bert.
Predictable.
Yeah.
Before I get to my question, Jerry, how often do people come up to you on the street and just go, Jerry, Jerry?
Pretty much all the time. The thing is, at my age, my wife is saying now they should start chanting your address so you know how to get home.
Oh my gosh.
You look fantastic, Jerry. You look fantastic. 27 years the Jerry Springer Show ran. Do you have one moment that sticks out other than the one that you just told us? Because that was a great one.
It was all stupid. Let me see. Well, I always say the guy that married his horse.
What?
That was always the show. Yeah, he married his horse. We did, just so you think we don't care, we did a follow-up show because the horse left him. The guy lived outside of Branson, Missouri. The hallways were extra wide because the horse lived inside the home with him.
Oh my gosh.
And it was really kind of weird.
Yeah. You think?
27 years, you run out of stories, I guess.
I guess so.
Wow.
Yeah.
Jerry, I just absolutely adore you. Being able to go to your show when I was in college at DePaul University was like scoring tickets.
Oh, you were there.
Yeah, and on top of that, I interned at the Hancock Building, and you gave me some very sage advice. I was at a radio station. He told me that I should never be picking up packages for people when I don't know what's inside of them.
Yeah, because that was right after the scare of like bombs being put in and what's that powder
Anthrax.
that was being put in packages?
Anthrax.
It was around the same
I
time.
kind of remember. Yeah.
It might have
And
been a
look
different
how
powder,
well
though.
you've done.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, okay, we all know that you were the mayor of Cincinnati in the 70s. So we want to get your take on some hot button political issues that are going on right now. So as we know, Caitlyn Jenner is running for governor of California. What do you think about celebrities in general running for office?
In American history, we've always elected, or mostly elected, people that are well known. It used to be they were military heroes, or they had served in other offices. But fame is important in terms of being able to get votes. But it doesn't say whether or not you'll be good in office. And we've had some really bad ones because of it. So I wouldn't make a judgment until I know where these particular celebrities stand on the issues, what their level of competence is. Do they really care about the poor? Are they just doing it because it's an ego trip?
Yeah, that's a very fair statement. So Jerry, we also want your take on President Trump being banned from Facebook. What do you think about that ban?
The Supreme Court has already said that you have free speech, but you can't yell fire in a theater because we're not going to protect that because something bad could happen because of that. Well, with Trump, we have inspiring an insurrection where people were killed and, police officers were killed. People charged the Capitol. People tried to overthrow the government, in fact, killed some of our political leaders. And so therefore, I think that they may very well have the right to ban him based on there's no evidence that he's sorry for what he did or that he'll stop doing it. Free speech is every constitutional right has limits to it, and even speech.
I like that answer. All right, Jerry, I want to get to your new show, Judge Jerry. It's been on for 3 seasons now.
That's horrible to say.
But it's the truth.
You're a lawyer in real life. How do you get people to take you serious as a judge after 27 years of the Jerry Springer Show? And I don't mean that disrespectfully.
No, that's fine. Well, when I bang that gavel, they take it serious because whatever judgment I make, that's the law. If they weren't friendly towards me or, let's say, fans or whatever, they would never accept having this trial on our show. When they file a suit, they have no idea they're going to wind up on television.
Right.
But if they didn't like me, then they wouldn't agree to have me be the judge. So I don't really run into that issue, even though I might have thought about it in the beginning. It has not been a particular problem.
Wow, well, that's the real
Plus,
deal.
NBC saves money. The network saves money having me be a judge because they don't have to have a clothing allowance. They just give me the same robe every day.
So do we at this show.
Yeah. You know what? You guys look a lot better.
Thank you, Jerry. So many
really
layers to you. We appreciate you. Thanks for joining us here in DBL. DBL Nation, the 3rd season of Judge Jerry is airing weekdays. Be sure to check your local listings for times. We hope to see you soon, Jerry. Take care. Be safe.
You guys are great. Thanks for having me.